Welcome to the rematch. I did a whole video on waking up this sock lithium battery and I failed miserably. So part of the reason is I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I've gathered some ammunition, done a little more reading, and I'm hoping with what I have here today, I'm feeling confident about getting it done. My name's Andy, and I'm preparing to move off grid. I'm still here in suburbia for a few more months, at least, and tying up loose ends. I've been building my solar system and working on my generator. I had this battery on a sailboat about 5 years ago for a 3-month trip, and it did a great job, so I really want to save it. It's not going to be part of my new battery bank for the new system I built, but I want it for the shower house because I think it'll be more than enough. It's a 206 amp hour battery. It'd be more than enough to run a pump for the propane shower and light, and maybe a USB charger for a razor or something, and a little fan for a composting toilet. I think that this would more than do it. Put a 200 watt panel on it. So it'd be a cheap setup for that building. The only reason I tore it apart was because I had never seen one, and these sock batteries, they come apart really easy. They just have a seal here and bolts, but the cells look great. So I've been talking to Sock, and they sent me a new BMS for it, but I'm not sure the old one is bad. So what I'll probably do first is just put this back in and button it up the way I had it. And I got this charger. It's a little tiny thing, but it has a force charge for lithium batteries. It goes for like 5 minutes. And then when I was trying to wake this up before, I didn't even have a multimeter, so now I do, but I really don't know how to use it, but I've read enough to know how I can set it and how I can read this battery kind of as I go to see if it's charging. Because once it gets strong enough, I want to connect it to my solar system, because I haven't had a chance to test that. It's all built and ready for batteries, but I'm still saving for my battery bank. So I'd love to be able to connect this and just test some things on the solar system, but it should go pretty quick putting it back together, I think. Let's see, there was this should be a temperature that's on there. All right. Strange. I don't remember these being in the way. Maybe they're not. Oh, that was really wedged in here. Maybe prying it out with a big screwdriver wasn't a good idea. Who knew? It's going. I imagine it should go all the way down to the bottom. Oh. Well, that's tight. I think that's the idea. Wow. All right. This is temperature. I think. Yeah. assuming that's good. Did I mention I don't know what the hell I'm doing? Oh wait. I'm sure that would have been a big mistake. Alright. I taped these up because I threw a spark. It scared me. Oh, I should have plugged that in before I shoved that all the way down. Oops. I think it's in. You know, for the first couple years I was planning all this move. I would just tell people when they'd ask me, why you sell your sailboat? Why you sell your travel trailer? Why'd you get rid of your nice truck? And because a lot of it was financed, or I needed the money to try to get out of debt. So I really feel like, so usually I would just tell people I'm trying to get out of debt, trying to be debt free. And that would usually work. I wonder if those are supposed to be on the inside. That doesn't seem to really want to fit well. I guess that's on there. I'll put a couple screws in just to hold it on there. But people, and when I start telling people that, yeah, I'm gonna move out west to the mountains, and of course they would say, why are you doing that? And my answer was always the financial end of it, which is a big part of it. Real big part. I mean, this place here, you know, it cost me, well, with my truck, you know, it's over $3,000 a month just to live here, just to have this, even if I'm gone all the time. So that doesn't lend itself to going on adventures very much. There it goes. That's stubborn enough. So I'd always tell them that I'm going to buy cheap land. The elevation shouldn't need much AC. Get out of this oppressive heat down here. But I'd usually always tell them the financial end of it, and that it'd be a lot more fun in retirement to not have to come up with a base of $3,000 and then try to do things from there. So, and that is a huge reason why I'm doing this, so it's not wrong, but there's a lot more to it, I think, too. It always kind of bothered me that that was my answer, like, because I guess I knew that there's more to it, and I still can't really explain it well, but I know for like my generation growing up, a lot of us were raised pretty feral, had young parents, and you know, coming out of the hippie age, and yeah. So we, you know, I'm gonna disconnect that actually. How childproof is this? Okay. All right. But that's a big part of it too, is that I miss the woods. I'm gonna just snug these, I think, for better connection. I don't doubt it matters, but yeah, we'd run around the woods from, you know, sun up to sundown. We'd raid gardens to eat, so we didn't have to go home and get caught, you know, get put to work doing something. All right, I'm gonna put this on this charger. The smart computer said to put it on 20 volts. Okay, I'm showing 13.53 volts. That's not what I expected. All right. I'm guessing that's charging at a real slow rate, so the thing I don't understand is I expected the volts to be really low on it. Could just be I'm not smart enough for all this. I'm gonna let it go for a while and we'll come back and check on it. So that's off. All right. But what I think I want to do is I can connect the shunt and see if the amps are coming up, because I can't measure the storage capacity of the battery on that, or at least I don't know how to do it. So I think I'm going to do that. Just see if there's any progress being made. It looks like it might even reach. I'm going to have to move the battery a little bit. Oh yeah, I kind of half told a story about growing up feral and kind of missing the woods. There is something to that, I think. Something I think we probably don't understand as humans. Because I remember even in my early 20s going back up to my grandpa's farm and just walking the woods where we'd play as kids. And it just seemed to reground me and everything. Well, I hooked it up to the battery monitor, and that's not good. 0.005 amps, 4 amps, 2, basically nothing. So I'm gonna pull the battery back apart because I don't think this charging is doing anything. I want to test each cell and then put this new BMS in. I kind of wanted to get a better look at this new BMS anyway, so. Well, I don't know if that's any good, but I know this one should be. When it came from, because I emailed back and forth with SOC, they're really responsive. So when this came, I was pretty excited. I thought when they told me in an email that, well, we'll send you out a new BMS, I thought, well, if I can get that within 2 months, you know, or if I ever see it, that'd be great. And then it showed up like a week later. So this is it. Now if I can get this together like the other one. And there's a little more to it than I thought. I thought it would just be like a whole new thing, plug and play. I can't wait to just start a woodworking project again. Jeez, this stuff is not for me. I mean, I know I have to learn it to a certain extent. Pretty exciting, but at the same time, it's pretty scary because if this fails, I gotta go back to trying to jump it, things like that. And one thing I've been afraid to try is just disconnect the BMS, try to get the cells up to a level where something can charge them. Well, I've got it all connected And I went ahead and put the shunt on too, so I could just monitor it while it's charging. I did identify the problem using the multimeter, and I may need more equipment to try to keep working on this. But so these two cells here at the end both read 3.31. These two, this one's 3.60, this one's 3.61. So I think they're so far off that the BMS just isn't gonna do anything. And I think what I need is a different charger. Yeah. What is it? It's like a balancing charger, and then charge the individual cells individually. And I wonder if I have to, I imagine I'd have to disconnect everything. And I think all these small wires have to be put on in a sequence, so I'd have some learning to do if that's the case, but I'm gonna keep working on this. It might have to be a part 3 though. We'll see. Well, it's early afternoon of the next day, and I'm still at it. My cells were incredibly unbalanced. I wasn't getting anywhere. So I connected, initially I connected this voltage meter, which is handy to have on anyway. And then I was running 2 USBs here. I was running one for a phone and one for the GoPro, and charging them. And this battery monitor was also on, and it went like that for about 20 minutes, and it was running it, all that, you know, doing all that. So I thought, okay, let me go get the IceCo, and I'll plug that into the 12 volt. I got about this far, I brought the cord out, and before I could get the IceCo out, the battery shut down. So I don't want to keep doing that to it. I guess that's bad for it. So I'm trying to bring it down real slow. And I'll show you the problem I'm having is I can't get these 2 cells on the end here are stuck at 3.31. So I think when I had that big load on, I was bringing it, you know, the BMS shut it down because these got down, because it was pulling from everything. The problem then was this one closest to the battery post back here was at like 3.65, so it was at the very top end, and this one was close behind it. But after I ran them back down, shut it down, then I put it back on the charger, took everything off of it, and yeah, I started charging it. Did that overnight. It didn't change anything. Kind of brought like the cell closest to the battery post and the other one back up a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna write down my midday readings. I think I'm about ready to pull the load off of it and see if I can put the charger back on and see what happens. So for the overall battery, I'm getting 13.26. I'm gonna do the cell closest to the battery post. That's the one that's been so much higher than all the other ones. I can reach it. All right. 3.35. I was kind of hoping that would be 3.34. That's what I was shooting for, but Okay, I'm going to do the next one. Working away from the battery posts. Okay, come on. 3.31. Okay, I'm going to do these last two because I'm anticipating they're both going to be 3.30. Yeah. Yep. Okay. The only thing I'm waiting on now is that 3.5. I was hoping to get that to 0.34, but I'm kind of thinking I should go ahead and start charging. I mean, it's close enough. They say within 0.05 all the batteries, so they're all within that. Well, I started charging about 3 hours ago, and this one here close under the battery post, it just shot right back up, which is kind of what I thought might happen. This one's coming up, but it's lagging behind. These two do nothing. This is already up to 3.6. This is like 3.38. These are still stuck at 3.31. So one thing I didn't do, maybe there's something to it, I doubt it, is this wiring harness for the new BMS is identical to this one. So I didn't switch it, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I gotta go, there's a sequence, so I'll connect those, and then I think I'm gonna drain it again, so it's gonna probably take a couple days, and connect that new harness and then try charging it again. Yeah, it's about all I have left to try on it. So this didn't work. I did have all the cells, I mean, they were within 0.04 of each other, you know, from 3.30 to 3.34. But as soon as I started charging, that one just shot straight back up, and same issue. So yeah, I'm gonna connect some stuff, kind of out of stuff to charge, through the USB. I'm gonna try to drain it a little quicker with the ice cold refrigerator. It might shut it down, but we'll see. So I'm gonna drain them down, get them within 0.05 of each other again, put on the new wiring harness, plug that in, and hope for the best. Throw it back on the charger. Well, I am running out of options here. I can move these two cells up front here, but these two just kind of stay where they're at. So I've drained it back down. I've got them real close. I mean, this is 3.2, or what is it? 3.32, 3.31, 3.30, 3.30. But I just plugged into the old wiring harness for this new BMS because it's identical. I mean, but I don't know. Somebody on one of the forums I was reading was saying to use the new wiring harness, that it could be that it's not communicating with these two. I don't see any difference in it, but I'm going to go ahead and do it because I'm kind of running out of things to do. So I'm going to remove the little bit of load I have on it. I'll do one more test. So I've got the overall battery down in voltage anyway to 13.22. And this is always the cell that shoots up. That's at 3.32. 3.31, 3.3, 3.3, yeah. So I've got my directions here because I guess there's a certain way to connect these. Certain sequence for the wiring harness. So I'm going to remove the load and try to put this new wiring harness on. I don't have insulated gloves. I don't know how big a deal that is. In hindsight, I should have got that balance charger. They're not that much money right off the bat. If I would have got that, I'd at least know and be able to stop messing with it if I've got like 2 bad cells. But it sounds more likely that there's some reason that these aren't communicating with these. But the people that are telling me that, I can move this now. People that are telling me that, I don't know if they know it. Those 2 cells do move a little bit. Gotta read some directions. Most negative terminal. Find the very first cell in your series. Identify its negative terminal. This is the overall negative terminal of your battery. Connect the black wire. Attach the black or BO balance lead wire from the BMS harness to the overall terminal of the battery. All right, well, camera cut off, but got, let's see where we're at. I plugged the BMS in, so I can't imagine they're identical, but maybe there's some difference. I mean, they went in exactly the same, so I'm just gonna see where the battery is, confirm, I guess. Now it says 10.83. Maybe there was something to that. different wiring harness. That's totally different from what I was getting. I was getting never below 13. What do we got here? Come on. 3.32. I imagine these are going to be 3.3. 3.3, 3.31. So they're right. The only thing that's changed, which could be encouraging, I don't know, I've had my hopes up so many times. Let's see if that's right. 10.83. That's encouraging because it's like maybe it's measuring the whole battery now. I need to get another extension cord. We'll put the charger on here. This is probably the end of it. I'll have to give in. Take the L. I guess with losing 2 in a row, there's no rubber match either. All right. Grab the charger. Even though this charger is just a 1 amp charger, I'll know fairly quickly. It seems to. I'll know if that one cell's going to shoot up or not. I like these, how you can connect them. All right, it already went to lithium. So now we wait. Say a little prayer. I don't know, that was encouraging. To see it, to me that says it's measuring the whole battery now, where it was just measuring like these 2 cells before. That's my theory, based on nothing. Success. Well, I've got a little bit of top end balancing to do, but other than that, I think it's good. I've brought it down, back up. I had the ice co running off it to drain it down. It took 2 days of running the ice co and charging everything else I could think of just to get it down. You know, the cells would line up on the low end around 3 volts, but then when I would charge up, that one cell in the front would shoot up. But I just started keeping it on the top end charging longer, and the other ones started getting pulled along. So it seems like it's coming together. And the last full charge I did was within 0.06 on the cells. So I mean, that's good enough, but I'm going to run it through at least 1 more time, maybe 2, but yeah, it should be good now. I don't know if it was the wiring harness or the fact that I think it's more likely that I wasn't keeping it on the charger long enough. So I would see the one shoot up in the front, and rather than give them a chance to balance at the top end, you know, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, so I got scared and I would shut it down, drain it back down to where the cells were equal, and then I was bringing it back up, but I wasn't letting it go long enough on the top end. So I don't know, I learned a lot. This isn't what I'd like to be doing, The whole time I was thinking, just give me a woodworking project, something to build, please. But it's important when I get on the property that I know, you know, at least basics of how this stuff all works. So, but yeah, I think it's good. I'm gonna top it off at least one more time now, and if it looks good, I'm trying to get it within 0.05, but I'm right there, so it'd be nice if I could get it a little better, and we'll see on this next top end. But I think I'm going to top it off and probably close it up and call it good. Maybe run it through one more cycle, and then that's going to be good enough. And then next week I can start, you know, I wanted this battery eventually for the shower house on the property, but I also wanted it to test my solar system, because I built it and I never had a chance to test everything because I don't have my battery pack yet. I'm still saving for that. So I think next week I'll hook this up to my solar system, push my panels out in the driveway, and start doing it. You know, I can't really do a capacity test because it's not going to be the battery bank for that, but I can still test the whole system, and I can test this battery more, running the ISCO and stuff like that with the panels out. Test the inverter. Just give me a chance to test everything, and it'll give me more testing on this battery in the process. So, but I'm pretty happy. It was a battle for sure. I mean, if cursing something could fix it, this thing would have been fixed a few days ago, but that didn't work. So hopefully I can stuff all this back in here and get it all bolted back together without ruining anything. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I've got right now I'm just coming back up on the charge, so probably not. Yeah, 1307. So I'm just coming back up. Yeah, and they're going to be lagging, I think, from this one here. Yeah, I've already got a little bit of a spread, but it's like 3.36 and 3.39 up here. So, but it's in the early stages too. I'm guessing the spread will probably get a little more, and then when it hits the top end, I just need to leave it longer and it'll balance more. But I'm gonna call this done. I'm gonna call it a win too. I mean, I don't know what more I could have to do. It's kind of anticlimactic, but the battery works again and it's doing what I needed to do. So yeah, that's a win. So next week I'll try it out on the 700 watt solar system, make sure that's performing as it should, and just have some fun connecting things to this. A lot less education next week for me. But thanks for watching.